Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first look at our newest hero, Drongo. We're going into bot match to test out his abilities and a few of my decks. One of them, as the bot's gonna force you in the carry role. If you're just interested in those decks, head on over to the end of the video, as that's where we're gonna go over my theory crafted decks. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the safe lane as bots put us here, as we are we're a carry apparently. So we have our call of the week, but what first ability do we get? Rad Rounds. Rad Rounds will provide us with more lane clear, but it is toggable, so we can choose not to put it on. And you know what? I think Rad Rounds, what we're gonna go for here, we're gonna load up the Rad Rounds because it actually applies on towers. Apparently it does. I didn't actually see it go there, but apparently it does. A few people in my Discord were saying, hey, it goes on as Rad Rounds. So we're gonna go for Rad Rounds here. And next, I don't know what to do after this. We have Old Rusty, our right click, that's our boomerang, our damage and slow. We have our Q, the gay grenade. So I think if you're in the safe lane here, it's going to depend on who you're up against. If you're up against a caster, gay grenade, which if you kind of see if they're running dual casters and it's not a caster jungle, you know, Drongo's obviously an amazing pick that you could go for gay grenades with, you know, right off the bat. But with Crunch here, I'm actually going to go for Old Rusty. And, well, we're level 3, so I might as well do this. So, his basic attack is interesting. It's actually kind of hard to see, to be honest with you. I'm having a tough time. It feels kind of not very substantial. We're going to load. There is a little bit of a delay. So that's going to be a little bit tough to get used to, the delay on Rad Rounds. Just know that it is a delay. So like right there, I should have kind of went straight into my Rad Rounds and kind of done that early. So I'm gonna actually load them here, and there's a delay. So, oh, see, I missed one shot here. I'm actually gonna use my, okay, so I used my Old Rusty, but I didn't really need to. I really do wish the bots were better, but I mean, I really don't want to do this in a PvP match and have my allies suffer. We're going to use my Old Rusty there, and there you go. Where's that burst damage? Burst damage? Question mark? Does it not show? Applies 1 stack on hit for 2 seconds. Okay, so Rad Rounds buff last 10 seconds. The last 10 seconds applies a 1 stack on hit for 2 seconds. Basic damage for 4 stacks. Okay. So I didn't see it. One thing I find interesting is that upgrading your Q doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, so that's where it... There it is. Okay, so there's the damage. It's... Okay. Let's actually go for our E here. Now we have our ultimate, so let's just use our ultimate. Woohoo! Haha! I love that. That is so cool. And it's not short cooldown. Check that out. Look at how short that cooldown is. 90 seconds here at level 1. So that means, yeah, it's going to be pretty darn quick here at level 3. I think it was a 50-second cooldown I saw in the patch notes, something like that. That's really quite quick. Yeah, so his basics are interesting. They don't look like very much. The yellow blends in with the background, at least like the color on my monitor. So, okay, apparently Rad Rounds works on towers. 45, 45, 45, 45. Okay, so whoever told me that was wrong. They were wrong. I thought that would be an interesting thing here. So another thing apparently is Old Rusty. Your right click, you can send it out, and then, yeah, did you guys see that? You guys saw that? So you can direct it to come back to you in a different direction, So You obviously, if your target has moved since since you shot it out, you'll be able to redirect it to make sure that they're hit again. So, okay, so that's very interesting. The Rad Rounds, that little bit of a delay, is fairly substantial. It can mean life and death, I guess. With here, let's throw that out. There we go. See, I didn't prime my Rad Rounds. And we're gonna have to see, where's that damage? 56. Oh! 239. Oh! Wow. Okay. I did level it thrice. So, like, I suppose that is warranted. Wow. Okay, that's gonna be a big thing. Landing your basics, that's gonna be really important. It's odd. He kind of feels like Revenant in a way. Where you buff like your Rad Rounds. You kind of buff your, like, his Rad Rounds is kind of his Hellfire rounds, right? Because he only has 4 in his chamber naturally. All right, so let's load this. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do that. Where's that burst damage? There it is, 215. All right, so let's use our gas grenade so he can't forward charge, forward crunch. There you go. See, upgrading your Q apparently does nothing, which I find sad. What's the point of putting points into it? Well, let's see. Okay, so let's okay, so let's test this out. Level 1. So it's that big. So I upgrade it. Does anything happen? No. The size on the tooltip didn't change. 3 seconds didn't change. That's bigger. That's bigger. That was totally bigger. That was 100% bigger. Wasn't it? Was I just crazy? Was I just crazy? That totally did get bigger, didn't it? Okay, so I think the size of the field increases with Gay Grenade. It didn't change on the tooltip, but I think it definitely changed. Interesting. All right, so let's see if I can redirect to this. I'm going to load my rounds here. I'm going to use my... Oh, no mana. All right. Come on. Ha 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 ha! 219, baby. Okay, and you know what? That's going to be a big consideration. That's going to be a big consideration for Drongo. You're going to have sort of like a engagement window, right? Where you engage, and then... oh man, I love this. Check this out. Check out all of this stuff. Oh, baby. Oh, thank you so much, Epic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is really, really, really important to know exactly, like, there you go. 20, like, see? Awesome. I love that. Anyways, you're gonna have... That's a really cool animation, by the way. You're gonna have like a window, right? Like his viability, Drongo. His viability is based, I think, around his Rad Rounds, and there's implications for it. You load up. You have 5 rounds. You hit your basics. You use your silence to keep them, in place, or keep them from using escape abilities. And then, alright, so let's load this here. There's a crowd control, thank you very much. We're gonna use that. There's our 5 rounds. Kaboom, there's a 202. And yeah, so I mean, bots are really down, but, there's definite implications there where you're gonna have to engage. You have your engagement window, and then you just back off, right? Because you don't have your Rad Rounds, you don't have your Gay Grenade. To either keep you safe or to just solidify the engagement, the kill, stuff like that, and you don't have your slow. So I think he's kind of he's obviously a bursty carry, right? He's obviously a bursty. They've said that the whole point of Rad Rounds is that burst after his basics, which kind of leads me to think he can almost be a caster. It's like a carry. It's like a caster carry. carry caster. Something like that. Right? Aw, Yin, Faye. Come on. Oh, there you go. Alright, you're dead. Yeah, there you go. And then shrapnel cannon. Yeah! So there you go. Look at all that damage. And, if apparently... Okay. So apparently... There's a multi-shot. So why multi-shot? Apparently his Rad Rounds works on minions. Works on those outside shots. So you're almost getting... You're getting three times the value when you use it. So I'm thinking that's the way to go. I'm thinking that's the way to go. So we're gonna get rid of Nitro Boost here, go for Heavy Hitter. If I was smart here, I would have put one more into Vitality. So you'd have Overclock Droid. But that's right. Hellfire Engine, I think. Just so we can do an insane amount of damage. I don't know. I would like Dune Winds, but I don't have it. Oh, look at this! Oh! Oh, look at this! Oh, that's so juicy. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Well done. Well done, Epic. Oh, this is fantastic. I mean, kills, death assists, and CS. For new players, that might not be overly... Right, so I loaded it. I'm going to throw that out. There you go. Nice ult. The steel's on point. See, and I should have used the gag grenade. That's going to be a big implication for you to use that, especially on somebody like a Seraph who can, you know, go into invulnerability, go into use her escape, right? Stuff like that. It's going to be important. I think Drongo, he has a nuance. He has a little bit of a nuanced playstyle. And see, I keep feeling like I have, like, Revenant only 4 rounds. For some reason, I feel like I only have, like, Revenant's 4 rounds. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the grenade, although he just uses charge. So that's stuff. Okay, so, oh, we can test if the silence field gets bigger. Okay. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to, oh yeah. Okay, line it there. Okay, so let's upgrade it. I aimed right about there. Let's upgrade it. Let's see if it got bigger in size. Oh, it did! Look, the tooltip did change. Was I just an idiot? It did change. Okay, that's really not much. Okay, it does change. Did I just not notice? Okay, so, oh, alright. So it's going up by 25. So that's probably why I didn't notice. It was 400, 425, 475. Okay. So, a very small increase in the radius. Honestly, I think that's just going to be what you upgrade last. To be honest with you. The slow on Old Rusty doesn't increase. So, there's that. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's see if, let's try Rad Rounds. Let's see if this works on minions. Yeah, it does. It does. It totally does. Actually, my attacks. Alright. Alright. Let's go. Let's use it again. Am I gonna hit all 3 of them, though? Hey. Hey. Maybe I wasn't hitting all 3. That's a very big implication, because that's kind of the whole thought process behind this deck, is that if Rad Rounds works on the outside, see, I don't have much mana, so trying to, let's look at Rad Rounds here. Let's just pummel into this Grux here. It does! It does! Unless I hit the minion there with my main attack. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's be cheeky here. Whee! Aww. See, and then getting used to the shrapnel cannon when you know what kind of terrain it can traverse and stuff like that. That's gonna be really important. So, yeah, crunch, go away. All right. So, check this out. I hit the outside ones, only 1 number. So it looks like Rad Rounds does not work on the outside shots. But you know what? I think that's okay. I think this still makes sense. Vampiric Blade here for Drongo, I think suits his kit. Honestly, I think it really does suit his kit. He's kind of almost meant to get in there, right? Like to just kind of go nuts right in their face with gag grenade to, you know, go toe to toe with somebody like Shinbi or a Countess inside the gag grenade, and then shrapnel cannon to kind of hit the back, stuff like that. So I think Vampiric Blade's actually a really smart move for somebody like Drongo, even if you don't have, you know, even if yeah, Rad Rounds doesn't go to the side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here are my kind of theory crafted decks for him. This first one is the carry deck. You want to treat him just like a carry, focusing on those basic hits. Well, there you go. So this is it. Call of the week really helps you out with your basics. His basic attack is kind of, it's a bit different, kind of hard to just get used to, but I mean, you will in time. Demolitionist, just another way to deal more damage to structures and stuff like that. Living Guardian's actually a pretty smart one. You can harass the enemy offlaner after building up those stacks and take a little bit less damage from those minions that help out, you know, the enemy you're attacking. Outlander Scout gets an offlane Kalari, which may seem more so in the offlane than the jungle due to her stuff. We have Nitro Boost, absolute must-have on a carry. That sprint is phenomenal. Sandspeeder is just kind of another transition card if you just want it. Just gives you more movement speed and just helps you farm, get around the map, etc. Guard Piercer, fantastic. Freaking fantastic Guard Piercer. It really is a must-have in the early game, mid-game. That penetration power goes a long way. This is your first damage card. Top-notch. Overclock Droid, it synergizes very well with this deck because you have to get power or vitality for Vampiric Blade anyways. So simply just drop another just 2 points into vitality, and there's the Overclock Droid. Gives you a good speed boost and attack speed, but you take additional damage. So it's kind of an offensive card, but you can use it a little bit defensively. Hellfire Engine, I would switch this out for Dune Winds. I just don't have it. But I mean, it's still here regardless. We have Heavy Hitter. That just increases that damage, because also his Rad Rounds is basic damage. Powerful Strikes should increase that damage as well. Very good synergy there. The next card is just the final deck, really. Shatter Golem for that crazy damage, and Vampiric Blade. The math is perfect for this as, yeah, Shatter Golem, Vampiric Blade, and then Guard Piercer. It works out freaking perfectly. 13 and 7 is 20, plus the 5 for Guard Piercer. Awesome. That basic armor penetration goes into the Rad Rounds, and just everything. It's just phenomenal. So the gems here, Ruthless. I like Ruthless because it just increases, the more you hit a target, the more damage you'll deal, which means that the more damage you deal over time will also, this will feed into the Rad Rounds burst damage. So just the synergy is great. Multi-shot. I thought that the outside rounds would apparently feed into Rad Rounds, but it doesn't. But because he can just get in there and be just kind of right in their faces, that might help, you know, especially when you're fighting around minion waves, and synergize very well with Vampiric Blade. Piercing Basic, just to deal more damage, period, like the basic armor, so you can pierce. Relentless Pursuit's very meta, at least what I saw in the PCL and PML. You're just able to follow people, enable you to get those 5 rounds into somebody, and then have it. So it just kind of helps secure Drongo's kit. Quick exit, phenomenal, just to keep the towers up, keep your farm up, etc. And auto shield saves your butt in the early game, mid game, even the late game, just a wee bit. It's a phenomenal value, absolutely phenomenal. Now this next one is my caster deck, and I'm actually pretty excited for this deck. So Rejuvenator, because I'm thinking you can use this deck in the mid lane. In the mid lane as a Drongo, as an anti-caster caster, you should be, I think it should work. Rejuvenator here just to give you that health and mana regen because it has been buffed. Tremendous value, absolutely worth it. Now, Advanced Learning to increase that sustain because you'll have Call of the Week. You should be able to farm sustain with these 3 cards perfectly. Then you go immediately into Mana Flow Acolyte because you'll be building a fair bit of knowledge. That'll just help you out, scale very well, increase your max mana, more rad rounds, more just fantastic card. Then you go into Invader Mage. That's spell penetration. Because his rad rounds is basic damage, not going to help too much, but his ultimate, which is on a pretty low cooldown, will work nicely. Power Tap, I did throw this in here. If you're really scaling well in the late game, you may be able to pull it off. Soldier of Fortune here, if you want to farm faster, it's just there. Guard Piercer is here because you have to go for agility to get OPD Militia, which we'll talk about later, and Static Trap and stuff like that. As you're going down agility, it just makes it so you can get some value from it. Still basic armor penetration, but a lot of his damage is, so it works nicely. Static Trap is a vision option because you're going down agility and knowledge. It's going to work great. You can use that to, yeah, as a vision option, put it down in a choke point, prevent ganks, stuff like that. Thaumaturge is another one you want to go for probably as soon as possible just because it takes time to ramp up. If you're going to play that game, be an ultra carry, there you go. Atomic Soldier is here as an option for that ability damage. Yeah, that only affects his ultimate, but still, hey, yeah. And then the card that brings us all together, OPD Militia. OPD Militia, basic attacks cost 25 mana and deal an additional 100 ability damage. I didn't test this. I'm not going to go into another bot game. If this, the thinking is this might proc off of the outside shots. So not only do you get Rad Rounds, which happens after you've hit somebody 5 times, but OPD Militia will also reward you with additional ability damage while you hit them. So OPD Militia hits for the 5 times, then you toggle it off maybe to conserve mana, and then Rad Rounds happens. You keep them still with the Boomerang and the Gag Grenade. Oh, the thinking here is really nice because you have Thaumaturge to give you more mana, and you're just going down knowledge for that mana. Hey, the thinking here, pretty darn cool. There you go. So final build here, OPD Militia, Thaumaturge, and then you can kind of go with Atomic Soldier, you can go with Guard Piercer, Static Trap. There are a lot of options. Keep Mana Flow Acolyte. It's a little bit more of a mid-game deck because you can see there's not big 13 cost cards. So I leave that up to you to kind of change if you want. Throw in a Shadow Dancer, get the Vampiric Blade anyways. I don't know. Ruthless, again, it's just awesome. Feeds into his Rad Rounds, his basics. He's still a carry. Works great. Lifesteal Gem because we don't... See, this is where I struggle. Do you get Vampiric Blade? I mean, it's down Vitality, which you're not going down. So it's tough. The Lifesteal here, instead of the multi-shot, yeah, I just did say OPD might go, but I'm kind of thinking it won't. So Lifesteal just to keep you topped up. Quick Exit, Auto Shield, Deadly Mana because you're going down knowledge and you want to increase that mana to use more Rad Rounds, etc., and to feed into OPD Militia. And then Spellburn. The more you hit people, the more damage OPD Militia is going to do through Spellburn, the more your ultimate's going to deal, stuff like that. So that's a different deck. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, as that kind of rounds it up. What do you guys think? There is Drongo, my first look, kind of testing with him. I encourage you to test new heroes, new decks, and just kind of try to get used to. So there you guys go. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe. If you guys like this content, found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Please consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account to help me do what I love on a monthly basis. And also, consider using my Amazon links down in the video description to kind of help me out while you do your Amazon shopping. Doesn't cost you anything, it just helps me out. Till next time, guys, like always, stay optimistic and positive.